people were supporting me. I just couldn't see the comments. But yes, it was very aggressive. And that's how he came in my life. And so, no, I'm not going to hold space for some boy or man to yell at me. My father never raised his voice at me. So why would I let somebody else's son, who's never changed a diaper on me, come in and yell at me? Are you kidding me? That's why I didn't hold space for him. That's just what it is. And it's like 45 minutes of me sitting there being denigrated and lied on. And now when it's time to have the discussion and my voice be heard, it's like, oh, now we're just going to stop talking about it. No, I don't want to stop talking about it because I haven't said my piece, which is so unfair. So that's why I stay in my lives. I don't go into people's lives. They have begged me to come into their lives. Let's have a talk. I refused for weeks because of this same reason. My boundaries may not be your boundaries. And I get that. And I'm not trying to tell other people what to do in their lives. But if I don't agree with how you handle your lives, I'm not going in it. That was a lot. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because like you don't this is atrocious. I do too, gorgeous. I believe people are intimidated because they can't handle me. They can't make me apologize. They can't make me backpedal. They can't make me hold space for them if I don't want to. And that's why they came in that live so they can make me hold space for them. Yes, and nobody's going to tell me how to speak. That's why they were in that live, because none of them could get me in their live. They've been doing that to black women for years. Hey, Glamour. Hey, Glamour. They've been telling black women to lower our tone for years. They've called me masculine and all kinds of things, and I don't care. I don't watch their lives. I personally don't sit on this app and go run from live to live seeing what people say about me. I agree. I personally don't do that. And I've suggested to anybody that I'm mutuals with that you don't sit on the app going from live to live to see what people are saying about you. I don't know what people are saying about me because I don't go from live to live trying to like police what people are saying. I don't care. And thank you, Miss Vong. It is obvious that's the way I speak. Or back down or cry on cue. That's not me. What I will say and what I will do is be kind to you, but not at the expense of me as a human being. I don't cue tears. If I'm crying, they're authentic. And I'm not faking it. Like, I'm not happy with how that went. And I am not happy how at the end of this 45 minutes of my character being denigrated, that the minute that I got up to say something, now we must change the topic. This is why, ladies, I don't go in other people's lives. I do not, for that reason. I'm not saying their space is not safe for all black women, but I have different boundaries. It's not safe enough for me, and that should be understood. But you cannot tell someone how to run their lives. That's why I don't go in them. Now you see why. It's not that I don't want to be accountable, but honestly, what can you hold me accountable for? That's how I feel. Exactly. Life coach. And I don't go into people's homes that I do not feel safe in. If you are doing things that I don't think is morally right, I'm not coming into your home. You may run your home totally different than mine, and some things I'm comfortable with. But if there's something that sticks out to me, I will not step foot back in your home. That's no dig at anyone, but I have a right. They don't like that I uphold that. That's right, Goddess. They've been talking about this accountability for I don't know how long, and I'm not doing it. Thank you, Taboo. We got to adore you guys, and I want to say space for all women, all Black women. So I know you asked me that in the other live, and that really just touched my heart, because I'm like, the fact that you had to ask that speaks volumes to the work that I have not been doing then, because trans women should know that my space is safe for them. So I have a lot of work to do in that. I have neglected that because it's been so much vitriol just with Black women, you know, in general, that I haven't been able to really address all the things that I typically address. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I have a much larger account, a much larger following, and I do forums on this topic. I'm not an expertise in the topic. I need to be educated in it, but I adore the transgender community. I am part of the LGBTQIA community, and I want to make sure that my space is safe for all Black women. Is any of my mods in here? See what I'm talking about, people? Here they come. Here they come. And they will be blocked. That part and period. You know, what I've been discussing avidly is the anti-Blackness that has been on this live. I mean, in spaces, period. And oh yeah, you were gone for too long, and I don't know. You weren't a mod on this account. You were on a mod on my original account. Thank you, Smash. That's what I believe too. It is these parasocial relationships are extremely interesting, and sometimes people get it twisted. They get it twisted. They get it twisted. I'm trying to kill my live a little bit because I know that there is the trolls in here. But at the end of the day, I had to decompress because I was getting very upset. And then a lot of wonderful people hit me up in my DMs and sent me positive energy. And I do appreciate all the DMs that I get that is nothing but love. And it's majority Black women. And that's why I will forever fight for Black women. Thank you, Ms. Vaughn. Yes, because initially my lives were about all types of things. I don't have a niche. I talk about everything from politics to sex. If you know, you know. If you do come in my lives after dark, we're talking about the snapper. So I needed to just digress because I could not change my energy in that live. I had to come to my own space, calm down, get me some tea, and just breathe it through. Right. Thank you. Jarlene, am I saying that right? Your name has a very close person in my life's name in it. Taboo, stick around, honey, because we talk about all kinds of stuff. From the Peter Weeder to the snapper, how you can keep the snapper snatched, how we snatch souls with the snapper, all kinds of things. We definitely have a good time on this my lives. I have been focusing mostly on the anti-blackness because it was causing harm to a lot of black women. And I just could not have a conversation about that. Because that would just say it's okay. And I just never, if you go on my page right now, you're going to see a whole bunch of people attacking. But let me tell you something about a black woman. We will show up because the black women are fighting for their life in that comment. But actually, they're not fighting for their lives because they are handling it. It's just about a few back anyone. So that's the good thing. But that wasn't a conducive space for me. That wasn't conducive. And my ancestors said, we got this. What I really want to talk about, guys, is I've been doing some light work. I know some of you guys were in that live when I did my light work. Yes. I tell you, God, it's because that live just wore me out completely. It took everything. Like, I was sitting there quietly, and I could have gotten in the box while that person was in the box, but it would have been violent. And I know that. And so I just decided not. My younger self, my spoons are going. It was exhausting. I know I was yelling. My younger self would have felt a need to validate myself at that moment. Like, no, that's not true. Or getting to a yelling match. As I'm evolving, I'm just like, let him have it. Let him say whatever he needs to say. And then I'll come in afterwards and I'll speak to what is true and what isn't true. With my head on straight. And sometimes it is better to block a person than to engage with a person, because I don't know if you guys know this, but anytime you have a verbal exchange with someone, you are sharing energy. And so I decide who I want to share my energy with. And also, one thing that I do want to stress to you guys, and usually I end my lives by talking about this, but remember to take back your energy that was taken, positive energy that was taken without your permission. Take it back with ease. So if someone came in your space and they stepped over the boundary, take your energy back. I do this almost every night. I don't engage with people every day, so I don't have to do it. But I find that when I do take back my energy, I feel so much better. Smash, you are so right. I typically block and move on. So when people say that I talked about them continuously after blocking them, if you know me in my live, I do not do that. You get blocked and you're not even a subject afterwards. That is just the most fictitious. Like, if you knew me in real life, you would know that would never be true. I don't even care. I detach myself from a lot of stuff that does not have anything to do with me. I really do. It is something, is a technique that I had to learn for my sanity. I cannot take every word that comes out of a person's mouth seriously. Exactly, Goddess. And the reason why, let me explain why the spirit that wants to attack me is trying to attack me is because they can't attack me anywhere else. I cannot control the energy here, right? When I go in someone else's life, I cannot control the energy. But in my home, I control the energy. You cannot step past that door if your energy ain't right. I'm well protected. In this live, I protect. So those are the only opportunities that spirit has. If it could break me, it would, but it will never break me. And people who I love are under the same protection that I exude. What they don't like is the protection that I have around me. They don't like that because people want access to you. They want to destroy you from inside out and weaken you so they could trample on you. I don't know if you ever seen this TikTok that goes around, but the girl is saying, one woman is saying to another woman, she says, I liked the girl you were. And the girl responds and says, because I was easier to kill. I don't know if that ever rings true to anybody, but if that rings true to you in your lifetime, that at one point in your life, that people could manipulate, isolate, control you, get you to react, put a heart up in there. Put a heart right now in this live. I want to see colorful hearts. There has been people in my life that at one point they could get me to get upset. I was like a roller coaster. They wanted me upset, I was upset. When they wanted me happy, I was happy. When they wanted me sad, I was sad. People would like you to be your old self because you were easier to kill. And when I'm talking about kill, unalive, I'm talking about spiritually. It was easier for them to beat you up. It was easier for them to take precedent over your life, over your words, over your spirit. I'm no longer that easy. I understand who I am. I understand why I was born. Who can relate to that? That you have had people in your life who tried to drag you to the gutter with them. But the minute that you decided, no, this is not the life I want, then they talk about this, but I feel like there's people in my life that has been overwhelmed, pressures that has been weighing on their spirit. People want you to be your old self, want to drag you back into your old ways. And you have been fighting in your life, in your daily life, to hold strong to it. Then I'm talking to you, gorgeous. I'm talking to anyone who has had to fight to get where they're at. Who has had to scuffle to get where they're at. Let me hold you up, sis. I'll hold you up. You no longer will be easier to unalive. People want you to be your old self, want you to go back to return to your vomit, because that's where they were comfortable with you. I'm not going there. I'm not going there with you. That's right, Glamour. That's right, Coach. I'm not going there with you. And everybody in this live, I want you to follow Coach T, the life coach. She's a phenomenal woman. She just doesn't have a lot of followers yet, but she is phenomenal. I want you guys to follow each other because this is sisterhood right here. I won't return to my vomit. I won't return to my vomit. I won't be who they expect me to be. I will not let my neck be a footstool to anyone. No one will find comfort while they have their knee in my back. I will not allow it. Hey, Living, how beautiful. Follow each other. Hold each other up. I will not allow it. I take back all my positive energy that was stolen from me. Do that with me right now. I take back every bit of my positive energy that was stolen from me. I did not give you permission to take it. It is mine. I own it. I take it back. I don't release it to you. I take it with ease. I'm sorry that I can no longer be your punching bag. I won't be your punching bag. I was not born for you to punch up on me. Somebody needs a breakthrough right now. You in this live because you need a breakthrough. Get it. You don't deserve it. Adjust your crown. Adjust your crown. Empower yourself. Connect with that third eye. Center this. You are worthy. You are worthy because you have life. And it's abundant. It is abundant and it is fruitful. It is abundant and it is fruitful. Adjust your crown. You get knocked down, you get your ass back up. If you're still here, then you can fight another day. And you know what? Hold space for rest. Yes. Get that chakra in order. Center yourself. Hold space for repentance in yourself. Hold space for you. Tap the screens, like and share. It's lagging because there you know how people do. We have a right to love on ourselves, and we don't need permission from anybody. We don't need permission. Don't let nobody dim your light, ladies. It ain't theirs. They didn't give you that light, and they should not be able to take it away. Can I get some hearts? Can I get some hearts in the comment section? I need us to lock and hold each other up right now. Hold each other up. We're going to be one link right now. Hold each other up. No more. I rebuke the spirit of depression. I rebuke the spirit of ego. I rebuke the spirit of lies. I rebuke the spirit of hate. I rebuke the bottomless pit of deceit. I rebuke it. We hold space for one another. That's how we heal. I rebuke it. And what I hold space for and I'm opening up to is love, kindness, compassion, and healing, forgiveness, reciprocity. If anybody knows me, you know I'm a person about reciprocity. Reciprocity. You are nobody's footstool. Speaking to myself too. You are nobody's footstool. People will convince you that they have a right to you. They don't. They don't. Rebuke them, remove them, and never look back. Rebuke them, remove them, and never look back. Rebuke them, remove them, and never look back. You hear that, ladies? Rebuke them, remove them, and never look back. Already done. Blocked. Rebuke them, remove them, and never look back. You know what it is to verbally rebuke someone? Say it out loud to them. I rebuke you and everything you come with. Any words you say that are not to fill me up with loving guidance and kindness, I rebuke it and I send it back to you. Return it. It's not yours. I will not hold on to it. I send it back to you. You better, let me tell you something. You don't have to hold space for nobody's words against you. Nobody has to speak demonization into you either. This is the word, y'all. Hold it. It's for you. You notice the live is getting less and less? Yes. Rebuke them, remove them, and never look back. I'm telling you. I have learned to rebuke people in the middle of a sentence. I say, I cannot hold space for this. This is not a healthy exchange. I don't know what your objective is, but it is not the same as mine, clearly. And now I have to go. Click and goodbye and never look back. If you in the presence of somebody, rebuke every word that comes. That is not me. I rebuke that. People don't like when you speak directly to them because they'd rather you go around the corner and speak to some Shanae and Makita and Kwanika. No, I'm going to tell you in your face. Ain't nobody got to come to you third party and say what I said. If you knew me real life, you would know nobody ever has to tell you what I said because I'll say it in your face. I'll say it in your face. Because you know what, coach? You know what I've learned? If I sit in my sorrow, it doesn't benefit anybody but the devil. And I'm talking about negative energy. That's what I call the devil. But if I take the time to not wallow in that spirit and hold space for love and kindness, it is far greater and more powerful than any negativity that could be sent my way. I will rebuke them, remove them, and never look back. I have practiced this diligently, and that's why people complain all the time that I silence their voice. I don't silence voices that are coming in to have a conversation. But if you come in to denigrate people in my life or denigrate me as a human being, it's not going to be allowed. And I know spirit. And some of you have watched me speak and things be true. I know spirit. I'm not confused on spirit. I'm not confused on spirit ever. Like I said, I know for sure what a black man's love feels and looks like. I'm not confused on that. I was raised by a powerful black man who raised me and my sister. So I'm not confused on what love looks like from a black man. And I don't go out searching to be loved by a black man or any man. I'm going to let y'all know that. So when I say that doesn't feel safe to me, I make my own decisions. I know how my father loved me. And no, my father would never let someone denigrate my character. And black men and men who love me, black or white, they would never let you denigrate me in their presence. That's what I know for sure. It's a contradiction. Am I right, gorgeous? That's like me sitting and somebody's talking about gorgeous by nature, coming in my life talking about you. I would never hold space for that. Take that shit somewhere else. She ain't even here to defend herself. That's not what I'm doing. I know what love looks like. I'm not confused on love. And abusers like to try to contort. What is the word? What's the word? Contort. What is the word? It's not coming to me. But abusers like to say abuse is love. Contort. Thank you, gorgeous. They love to contort the truth and say, oh, this is love. That ain't the love I want. And I'm allowed to reject that kind of love. I reject it wholeheartedly. That's me. You can reject the type of love that you don't want. I know exactly, Sean. I know, Shawnee, I know what love looks like from a man. I'm not confused. Yes, Rosebud. You was the first one who said about the narcissism and ignore them. And that's what I have been doing. And it's just frustrating the hell out of them. I ignore. I rebuke, remove, and never look back. I know how to deal with narcissists and narcissistic characteristic disorder. Some people have been with narcissists and they have learned those narcissistic behaviors, and these are narcissistic trauma responses, and so they have picked up those same attributes. They're not narcissists themselves, but they have those same characteristics and they use them and they weaponize them. They have learned them. I know what it looks like, and I'm not the one. I'm not confused. And I don't validate voices that do not speak truth. They hate it. They hate when we refuse to give them the power. I know that for a fact. It is learned traits. I know what love looks like from a man. I'm not confused on it. I don't have daddy issues. And not judging anyone that does, but it gives me, when you have daddy issues, I know people who have daddy issues, and sometimes they are reaching for a man's love. And any kind of love they can get until they do their shadow work. Sometimes it's abusive love. Sometimes it is passive aggressive love. Gaslighting love. They come in and they believe it is love because that's attention that they wanted. And they're trying to find that missing piece, that emptiness. And so these men come into your lives and contort actual love. You think it's love and it really isn't. I have other issues, but daddy issues is not one of mine. And I know what it is to feel loved by a man, cared about by a man, protected by a man. Thank you, Rosebud. You speaking a word tonight. Everybody in here speaking words. These are some evolved sisters in here. Love is not a part-time event. It is an all or nothing. That part. That is a dangerous red flag. And I recognize that red flag. And I'm not interested in coddling those type of people. I'm definitely not interested in coddling a man, considering I don't sleep with them. I really don't. The men in my life, I am very happy with. And I can guarantee you, the men that are in my life will not sit in nobody's space while they're disrespecting me. You heard me, Sean? Exactly. I don't hold space for men. Why would I ever do that? I don't even sleep with men. Why am I holding space for a man? Bye. And I know what love looks like and feels like. And that ain't it. That is not it. That's not true. Ray didn't do that. And he will speak up on my behalf, no matter if I'm present or not. That's somebody who's got your back. I don't need that. What did Miss Rosebud say? Rosebud, put that back in it because I want to pin that, because that was such a powerful statement. And yeah, Coach, people have sent me him defending me. People have sent me him in the comment sections defending me. I know who I'm loved by. I'm not sleep on that. He will go in anybody's live and say that's not true. She didn't do that. I be in her live. She don't say that stuff. That's not true. That's not true. I've seen it. They don't know who you are, but they tell me who's in there saying what and who is not. And these are trusted sources. Yes, loyal and genuine. I know what it is to be loved by a man. Ladies, don't ever confuse those love bombing type of dudes. Don't confuse that with love. That's all temporary. Rosebud, please put what you said up in there because I want to pin it. I'm not going. I'm just doing my skincare before bed. Girl, hair, take care of that skin. Take care of that skin, sis. It's a damn shame. I'm sad to see the mutuals who have turned against you. Yeah, I'm not. We were never mutuals. If they are problematic. And you don't call them out. You call them in, and that is the difference. You don't call them out, you call them in. You don't go on a platform and start yelling and screaming at a person that you actually care about. You call them in. You don't go to someone else's live and talk about them. You hit them up. You call them. You say, hey, I heard this. I think that I want to know if this is true. Hey, I think I heard this. Is this true? You don't take and go to social media and call them out. That is not love. That is not love to me anyway. That might be love to others, but that's not how I would want anybody to deal with me. I don't deal with my true, authentic people that I love. I don't call them out. I call them in. I call them in. And that is the cancel society we live in. That's just cancel people. People make one mistake and people get canceled. And everybody wants to come in and call them out. You call people you care about in. You call them in. You hold them close and you say, hey, can we talk? Or get their perspective. The cancel culture. Thank you. You call them in. I don't know who that is. And I don't know what FNA is. And if it's about the Aboriginal people, I've had that conversation and I made it clear that I would not be furthering those conversations at all. I don't want to. Exactly. I decided that I don't want to hold space for anyone else but Black women and Black men. But this space is a priority to Black women because they're the most unsafe human being on the planet. That's my decision and I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. I'm holding firm. And I'm not sorry about that. I watch what happened. I'm aware. My third eye is open. And I'm not slow. And I see clearly what's going on. I put a sigil on my body. If anybody knows what that is, you know that I'm not playing around. If I put a sigil on my body, so stop playing with me. I know what I'm doing, and I know what I see. My eyes is open. I'm not confused on who is for me and who's against me. Anyway, guys, what we were talking about is making sure we call back our power, making sure we connect to people who love us authentically. And when they have something they want to say to us, they don't take to social media to say it and put a post up to talk about it, but they hit you up in your DM, try to find a way to communicate with you. Even if they can come in your live and say, I'm trying to send you a DM, can we become mutuals because I want to talk to you? They would take every step before they would ever come on social media to call you out. Remember that the call out culture, that's not love. That's right. Listen, you've been watching. You know what happens. And sometimes I'll let them get rampant. But one thing about my mods, and this is why I love these ladies, when they are in here, they don't play around. My mods protect me at all costs, even when they're in other people's spaces. And I've watched them get kicked out and silenced. And that's why I will never get rid of them, because they understand that Black women need to be protected at all costs. And what we witnessed, that anti-Blackness for like 3 weeks, almost a month now. We have to talk. We have to be authentic and be realistic about what really took place here, guys. And I'm not going to move on forward as far as opening up my space to anyone else until there is some real-time apologies. And I mean that. Because it seems like only people that are being held accountable have been Black women. Has been black women. And I'm just not going to do it, guys. That part, Glamour, that part, they wouldn't be disrespectful or use Black men to try and disrespect Black women. That part. That's right. Deb, you've been in here for this fight for just as long. Living, Coach, y'all been in this live. A lot of y'all been in this live watching. Y'all know exactly what happened. It's only been Black women. I will say that. And that's where I have a problem. Oh, Taboo, you too. That's where I have a problem. And that will remain my problem. This is not a talking point for me. Ooh, that's so beautiful, Deb. I seen you say that before. They want us to apologize for our response to their violence. Facts. I won't do it. And I don't care. I won't do it. And I do not care. It's not a talking point for me, ladies and gents. It's not a talking point for me to say that Black Lives Matter. I've been saying that for years before I got on this app. I marched in front of a commissioner's home for years. This is not new for me. And I will stand my ground. I will not give them a piece of me. And I feel annoyed that I even let what happened today happen to me today. I will say that. but it won't happen again. Exactly, Goddess. Goddess, you have hit the nail on the head. This is what Goddess said. Yeah, at this point, it's about apologies for not letting ourselves be abused anymore. That part. Thank you, Rosebud. And I was out there fighting for Breonna Taylor. I did marches everywhere for that woman. She deserved her voice to be heard. It is us being relentless for this fight. We have put our necks on the line for Black men far too long, and now it is time for them to stand with us as well. And I want to put that out there. Not enough Black men were out there for Breonna Taylor. I will say that. It was a whole bunch of Black women, and I'm going to be honest, and a lot of white women. I will say this, though. When I did put that post up, summoning Black men came up here and was doing posts about Black women nonstop. Because I summoned Black men. I needed to know that Black men are standing with Black women. You right, Miss Vaughn. I try to get out of predicaments like that, and I sat in that too long. Thank you, Rosebud. Hey, Eyes. I want to see those same people that was holding Black women accountable. I want them to go to the indigenous community and say, you were anti-Black. Let's talk about that. Until that happens, I have no space for none of that. That's what I've been talking about for these last couple of weeks, because that caused so much harm to Black women, and everybody knows that was sitting in these lives. And until that happens, I have nothing to discuss with anybody. You was there, poet. I don't want to missay what they are, but some of them are white indigenous people, because I know what people don't recognize is Black people are indigenous too. But so they totally disconnect us from the community, period, point blank. But I'm talking about the indigenous people that are what they call themselves light skinned, but they look white to me. Yeah, I'm not even getting into that. I asked you to DM me because I really wanted to talk to you about this, because I want to get a little bit more education on that. Oh, we know this. They call themselves white indigenous people or white natives. And what has happened, because they have been actively attacking Black women in my space. And Grandma can attest to this, and so can Coach, because she had to go in there and protect Black women. Yes, and so Grandma, they say they are, and we cannot speak about it, right? And that's not fair to us either. And that's why I cannot hold space for any of that. Because I'm not going to be silenced either. I'm just not for it. I'm not in that space. I know what I witnessed. I know what I felt like in that live and days after that situation. It was disgraceful. And to this day, no person but myself has said that indigenous people, those who are saying they're from Turtle Island in Australia, they have not been held accountable in the way that people have required that Black women are being held accountable, should be held accountable. And that is on facts. Exactly. They tried to brutalize us. Just look at some of my posts. All you have to do is any post. I put a post and a man was saying he just wants to be with black women only. That is his preference. And he was giving love and shout outs to black women. And go to that post and see what happened in that post alone from them. It's anti-blackness. And I'm calling it out. It is a ghost narrative. It's not real. Exactly. Just go to that post and you will see what kind of vitriol we've been experiencing and why I will not hold space for any of them. I won't. The ones that I did, I became mutuals with, and we'd had a discussion on my live, and it was peaceful. And I held space for them, and it was a wonderful experience. But for me, if you are watching your people come into my live and come into on my post and show uphold white supremacy on my post, and you're not speaking to that, then you are part of the problem as well. They are agents of white supremacy. I've been calling them out. They are in on my post. Every post that I put up is constant antagonizing. I'm loving black women. This post is for black women only. Here they come. I put a post of one of them telling me that we're lost because we don't know our culture. And I had to make it clear, we are the culture, sweetheart. We are the beginning with no ending. Let's get those facts straight. We are the culture. It is weird. Don't tell me I don't know my ancestry. Don't tell me I don't know who I am. I know exactly who I am. I'm more black than you are, and I'm 4% black, all while speaking. Child. Yes, and they say take out the C because that's colonizers, and that's what that means for black people. Black people, when they put the C in the black, that means they're colonizers. How disrespectful is that? That's why I won't hold space. You won't erase me. You won't erase me. That is an eraser. That's what they're trying to do. Oh, I know that, poet. I'm not dealing with that, guys. And that's what I've been talking about because that's been my focus. Because it was so dangerous. It was so dangerous to try to erase our identities. I'm not having that. Yes, taboo. That's what they said. So that's my topic of conversation. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing, and I'm still witnessing to this day. And I'm not lying. And I'm very interested in finding out a little bit more. Rashad, Grandma, Shawnee, we have to talk. I'm looking for child living. It's so much to tell. Why we gotta be so hateful to each other. Love is the key. Hard to love when constantly hurting. Well, what I've learned, Rosebud, is the patriarch and white supremacy does not want love. They only understand conflict. That's when they respect what you got to say, when it's painful for them. That's what history shows. Exactly. Justice, equity, reciprocity. That is what is needed. I don't agree with this whole love. We all kumbaya. Nah, we've been kumbaya a long time, or trying to. And what has it gotten us? Justice is necessary. Reciprocity is necessary in order for people to accept apology. First, one must be giving, and once you give an apology, you must show remorse. And remorse is an action. It is not just words. Remorse constitute an action. What have you done to show remorse? Did you give back the land that you stole? Did you give reparations? Have you acknowledged the bitter history in America? In order for us to move forward, we must get reciprocity. I don't know if anybody went to the African American Museum, or is it called the Black History Museum in Washington, D.C. But when I see shackles for children and babies coming out the womb, and I read the story of it immediately putting shackles on babies' arms, guys, I could not even begin to understand. My brain could not even wrap around what type of heart or malicious or evil could even think that way. Y'all go visit that museum, and I'm certain that it will leave you with a total different perspective. Let me see who this is. Rosebud. Go visit the History Museum and then come back and tell me what you think. I watched it. I was in there. I walked through it. I watched cabins where my people slept on the ground 17 deep. No beds. A chest that I used for my sheets at this point was a chest full of rags for 17 to 25 people in one cabin. Please. I don't want to hear about kumbaya with people like that. There has to be some reciprocity. Hey, did you finish your face scrub? Hi, Baby Coalition. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I came in here to get a little healing. I needed it. I come to my space just to relax and talk about the things that are important to me, and hold space for these beautiful women in this live and these beautiful men who come in and speak life into these Black women in my lives. And that is important to me. That is the goal. That is the goal. Yeah, Goddess, I don't speak that kind of rhetoric in my lives. I don't tell people to hold space for people and love people while they're trying to unalive them. That is just not going to work. That is the patriarch word. That's what white supremacy tells people. Pray to God while we enslave your children and your legacy. No, thank you. I know you have been such a wonderful human being to me, Coalition, and I appreciate you. And thank you for holding space for me. Gorgeous. When I went there, when I went there, I started to cry uncontrollably, and I was an adult, so I cannot imagine what you felt like as a child. And Taboo, you need to do that. We need more powerful Black women on this app holding space for Black women. It is necessary. Our lives depend on it. When I went in there, I cried uncontrollably. I couldn't even fathom what, our ancestors felt like. I could not fathom what our ancestors were thinking. I could not fathom what our ancestors was holding when they kids giving birth to their children and then watching handcuffs be put on them. I could not fathom the love that I have for my offsprings, the love that I have for my family, my legacy, my generation. To watch that happen as a mother while I had to nurse somebody else's child with my bosoms and starve my own. Fuck, I be like, child, don't ask me to be kumbaya with people who have done those kind of hateful things. Go ahead, gorgeous. I cannot. And that's why I fight for Black women and our rights. That's why I fight the hardest. And I'll go in the front lines and I'll fight for us any day and any time, because I understand the assignment. I know what we have to do. And I'm not interested in kumbaya if we don't have if we can't even create our own tables. What are we kumbaya about in the first place? Because this system was not built for us to be successful or to have any ongoing generational wealth. 564 years behind, held up. If I forget the past, it will repeat itself. We're watching it repeat itself right now because we forgot. Some of us forgot. They sure did. I do know that story, poet. My heart can't forget either. I can't stomach it. And you know what makes it more harder to forget, guys, is that we're watching it happen, repeat itself. I want to learn. I want to know more about this conversation, because I did look up some stuff and I was like, this is a very, very interesting, and people are missing this point, and I would like to know. Yeah, if we forget it, if we bury it, then it will repeat itself. Nothing is new under the sun. This has all been done before. Yeah, it's not taught in the schools. None of our true history is taught in schools. That part, gorgeous. Come on now, speak. My people perish from lack of knowledge. I will be in there listening quietly, Rashad. Please invite me to the live. I will be in there quietly listening. Yes. Yes. That too, goddess. It's not like these books were made available to us in school, or even if you went to college, unless you take up one of these courses and pay out of your own pocket. Some of this stuff we will never know, because it is something you have to pay to learn. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, I will definitely be going and watching. I want to know what you know. I want to educate myself on this conversation so that I can have that conversation. And that's why I told you, let us talk, because I would like to hold space for this conversation, because it's necessary to have. But I need to know more about it. And I have, excuse me, I'm so tired. I went to bed very late last night too, and got up pretty early. That is so true. I will pick that up. America is the true old world Mew discovered. I will pick. Can I? That's why black women can be dragged on this internet. That part, Sean. Y'all in here speaking power. Put words to power, y'all. Shrod may have it too. America's school was deliberately designed for indoctrinating, not education. Indoctrinating and not education. Facts. I'm definitely going to get it from Amazon. Let me make sure I remember America. Driving back home. Man, I got to find what he said. Hold on. Let me get my laptop, guys, so I can look up some of these books so I can have it on my search engine.